Hello. My brain isn't entirely working this morning. Welcome to another vlog. I'm VA Winter, indie author and Substack essay writer, via which is out now, and I'm currently working on book 2, which is what I'm doing this morning. It's about 6:30. Oh my god, something weird going on with my eye. It's 6:30 on Tuesday the 7th of July. And I need to go get ready for work in a minute. And I'm stuck again. This book, I'm about halfway through. So I'm currently working on draft 4. So it's had a developmental edit. It's booked in with copy editor in September. So I've got 2 months to get it in shipshape, get it finished, get the developmental stuff finished anyway, and then we can worry about the actual words, obviously, later. I'm currently sitting at 37,000 words. I've written a grand total of 77 words in the last hour, but I've also been working in my notebook to try and work out. I've just got a cluster of chapters in the middle that I changed based on the developmental feedback to make the main character more active and less passive, so that she's taking more action. So I changed them. I didn't like how I changed them, so I changed them again. And I've just written the first of the new sort of chapters, and I don't like it. I like elements of it. It's just, it's not working. It's kind of a bit, this particular chapter is a bit pointless. It's not functioning in the whole cluster of chapters. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chapters. There's 6 chapters all in the middle, which obviously 2 of them are sort of 2 halves of the midpoint, and then the few chapters afterwards, so they sort of fall out from the midpoint, that I just don't like, that just aren't working. The essence of them is right. It's just, yeah. So I'm trying to work it out. I think I might have worked it out, but then I thought this last time and I had to rework it out. So we'll see how it goes. So I'm on chapter 11. So I think I'm going to have to go back into chapter 11 and not rewrite the whole thing, just rewrite the ending of the chapter and then restructure the next few chapters again. This book has not gone to plan. This book was supposed to be out by now. And between my lifing and this book booking, I think it's second book syndrome. So that's what I'm currently working on this morning. And I am going to be going to work. I'll try and remember and keep this going. Hello, it's nearly 6:30 on Wednesday, the 15th of July, and I've been working on getting the June update out on my Substack. So the vlog went up yesterday morning for June. These are going to be weekly in theory going forward. So the next one's going to be 2 weekly over the first 2 weeks of July, because this is how long it's taken me to do this. I should have been writing, but I really just want to get this June thing off the list because it's the middle of July and it's becoming pointless. I have watched a couple of Incas concessions, so I signed up for Incas Con last year, and in 2026 I'm still on 2025's videos. I find it difficult to prioritise it. Yeah, so I've done a couple of those and I've been working on this, and that's really all I've done so far this week. It's still too hot here in the UK. It's not as bad as it was, but it's still, everything's hot. Everywhere is hot. Ready for winter, ready for autumn. So I need to go get ready for work. I'll catch up with you when there's something to catch up about. Hello. I'm hoping you can't hear that in the background. Someone's having a shouting session, one of my neighbours. So, it is Friday evening, 17th of July, and I am writing. This hasn't happened in a while. I think it's a week since I actually wrote anything, which is very bad. Yeah, so I've spent this week editing the vlog that has just gone up a few days ago as to when this hopefully will be posted on Sunday. I'm trying to get the Substack article up as well to go with it, and that hasn't quite happened yet. It's fine. I've also been reading. I'm working on book 2. I have had an idea about book 3, which is really interesting just now, which is maybe what sparked off the desire to actually write, and also about the book that's coming after that, which is connected to this series. This series should be a complete trilogy, and then in theory there'll be a spin-off book afterwards for one of the characters in book 2. In book 2, all of them. The character is in all of them, I think. See, I've had that idea, which is really interesting. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to stick with that idea, but I have had that idea. I'm still at about 38,000 words. I've written a couple hundred words so far. I'm going to try and do about another hour. I am planning on writing for the majority of this coming weekend because this has just gotten so far behind, and I do obviously have the deadline to get it to the editor in September, so I'm going to try and focus on this. Plus, there's a virtual writing retreat in the Heart Breathings writing community, and I attend their sprints quite a bit. I lurk because of course I do. This sprint's basically all weekend, so I'm going to try and get quite a few thousand words in and sort of catch up a little bit as to where I should be. I'm about halfway through. I just want to be a little bit closer past the midpoint. That's my goal, is to get past the midpoint this weekend, get into the 40,000s. Maybe 45,000 would be nice. Would be a nice goal to hit this weekend. I'm currently reading a book called The Polymath. I can't say the author's name properly. I already said not sure how to say the author's name. I'll put the cover of the book here. Wakas Ahmed. Or still working on my pages of my TBR update video, which is going to be all about notebooks and curriculums and polymaths and all that kind of thing. I'm also reading volume 2 of Susan Sontag's diaries. That's slow progress. That's it. That's what I'm doing, and I'm still not posting on social media properly. Anyway, I'm going to be quiet now. I'm going to carry on writing, and we'll see how far we can get this weekend. It's now Saturday afternoon. I'm writing. So I've done about 2,000 words, just over 2,000 words, 2,400 words today so far. I did a couple hours this morning, and I've done a couple hours so far this afternoon. I've just got distracted for half an hour by forests. All will become clearer if you read the book. But yeah, trying to find a forest in the correct location in England. But we found one. It's fine. We're now moving again. I am on chapter 12, and chapter 12, there's been a lot of chapters. I was just thinking to myself that I feel like I'm not making a lot of progress. Like, my to-do list for this book is in chapters, so I've got like chapter 3, 4, 5, to tick off as I go along with a word count tracker in my notebook. The chapters are going so slowly. These aren't the chapters that they're going to end up. There's going to be some changing of chapter numbers based on sort of how it's written, the chapter lengths and everything, and scene lengths. But currently I'm on chapter 12, and chapter 12 is the midpoint. These chapters are too long, and I don't know why I didn't think about this when I was outlining. Basically, I've tried to shove too much into a chapter, and now these chapters are really long, so it's taking me so long to get through each chapter. Normally I try to aim for about 2,000 words per chapter, so that normally means I can move through a chapter within like a couple of days, a couple of 3 days at the most, depending on sort of whether it's a work day or whether it's I'm having a longer session at the weekend or on a day off or whatever. Some of these chapters are like ending up 5,000-6,000 words long, which is obviously far too long. For my chapters, it's far too long. And considering the size of other chapters, which are around 2,000 words, I don't want a chapter that's 2,000 words and then the next one is 6,000. I don't like that. I don't like it as a reader, and I wouldn't want to do it in a book. So they just need, it's because they've got several scenes in them, which I thought those scenes were going to be shorter than they've actually turned out to be. So hence, some of these chapters are very long, and which is why it's taking me so long to get through each chapter. But it's very disheartening because I feel like I'm not making any progress. Like, I've written over 2,000 words today, all in this scene, almost all in this one scene, but this is only a third of the chapter. Like, there's another scene for the chapter that I finished yesterday, and I've got another scene to write after this one in this chapter. So it's just feeling like it's going really slow, and of course I have to keep going back and fixing plot holes as well. I've just realised one in chapter 12, like, if she's got a phone signal, she's got a data signal, she can check on the internet. Yeah, so that's where we're at. That's the progress. I've not done much else, obviously, because the plan is just to write and see how many words I can get. I would love to get to 45,000 words. That will hopefully get me out of this chapter at least. And it's chapter 13, chapter 14 at the minute, should be shorter. I think that's kind of all I have to say at the moment. I'm going to carry on writing and talk to you when there's something to say. Okay, so I'm at 42,608 words to be precise. It's now just after 6 o'clock. Still on Saturday. I'm tired. I've printed out the outline. I've had to basically re-outline again. I've had to stop and re-outline the next few chapters, as in just move them around, change the structure slightly, make for the pacing more than anything, so that we've got a bit of a gap between the different action bits as per sort of editorial feedback. So we've had a change in the chapters. We'll be pleased to learn I'm no longer on chapter 12. I have now changed the end of chapter 12 to chapter 13. So that's a bit of a cheat as well. So I'm now on chapter 13, which I'm not going to finish chapter 13 tonight. When I'm drafting, like first drafting or even second drafting, there's always that thing in the back of my head that's like, do you know what? Just move on from whatever you're stuck on. Put whatever seems like a good idea right now, move on, and you can edit it later. The problem is this is editing it later. Can't do that with this version. There's an element of I'm going to come back through it as I transfer it into a Word doc, because I'm currently working in Scrivener. I'm back in Scrivener. I'm going to be transferring it into a Word doc to send to the copy editor. I'm going to do another read through back through it once I've finished this version, and then edit each chapter as I put it into the Word document, just for both line edits and for any last bits of structural edits. Obviously changing the chapter numbers to break up those long chapters, as I mentioned a minute ago. And then that's it. It's going to be copy edited in September, and I can't, there's no later to fix it this time. So I've got to take my time going through this. And each time I get to a sticky bit, a bit that isn't working, I've got to stop and take the time to fix it, instead of just being like, that's future me's problem. I'll just leave it like that for now, because that's easier. I can't do that right now. This is a flaw in my process, that I do this. I know something isn't right, but because I don't want to stop and take the extra time it will take just to fix it, I keep moving forward, and then it creates messes like this. So that's a lesson to take forward. Whether I will or not is a different point, but you know, that's where we're at right now. I'm going to be quiet, music on, and do a few minutes and see how we feel and see how we go. Okay. Well, today didn't go to plan. I haven't written anything. So we're still at 43,000 words. Today just did not go to plan at all. So we're going to try again next week. I still feel good about the progress I made this weekend because I've written 5,000 words, nearly 5,000 words. And that was 5,000 words I didn't have before. So, I'll take it. I should have edited this today as well, but obviously that didn't happen. I've just been watching some IncusCon sessions and done my planning. I think everything's been planned. I was kind of excited to get a really high word count, but that's all I've got for the week is about 5,000 words. We'll try again next week. So I'm going to end this blog here. There should be an essay coming out relatively soon as well on my TBR personal curriculum project thing. I'm not good at explaining things. Commonplace books, polymaths, personal curriculums, and my pages of my TBR project in a kind of an essay video, also on my Substack. So I don't know whether a vlog will come out first after this or whether that essay will. Something will. But other than that, if you did like this, hit like. If you want to see more, subscribe, and I will see you next time with another video.